Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're not depressed that the Euros are over. Oh wait, we kind of are.
The month of July is over. We spent so many hours watching the games, like so many people did. I'm sure people like us, I pretty much watched every single game, minus maybe minus one, maybe two of the games, but every other one I watched. And so we're depressed, but so many people have found our channel this month, or last month technically. So hello to everyone who has found our channel. And we keep getting comments like, no, focus on soccer, not relationships. And then I'm like, well, we kind of do both.
I was gonna say, are you new here?
Yeah.
Which they probably are.
Yeah. So I always say, hey, if some of our videos aren't for everyone, hey, that's cool. I get it, you know? So I keep seeing that comment, like, this isn't soccer, but that's kind of what we do. But it's really fun to see a lot of new people, and I love it. And thanks to everyone who's stuck around. You know, I think about that too. It's been 6 years that we started making videos on this channel. We are still obsessed. So thank you to everyone who found us this last month and who have been with us for the last 6 years. So yeah, oh my gosh, that was kind of gushy.
I'm so gushy. I loved it.
But how is it going today? Yours are over. I want to touch on a few stories that I saw and kind of touch on something from our video yesterday, because we talked about Niamh Charles and Kat Macario maybe being a thing, maybe not being a thing. Know what I loved was, so after we put up the video, my opinion is they're a couple, but we got a lot of people in the comments. I would actually say it was close to 50-50 in our comment section whether they thought they were a couple or not, which I kind of love, because it's like, oh, are they? Aren't they? You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of love that when it's split. You know what I mean?
Well, I've never hugged my friends that long.
But you have friends who do. You get what I'm saying? Or like they're really emotional. We're going to read a comment that kind of alludes to that. But someone else brought up a good point yesterday, that yesterday in the comment section on Instagram, I keep saying yesterday, but like maybe 2 days ago, Niamh Charles posted something about the Euros. Kat Macario had a comment, and it said basically she called her sis. Like, I'm so proud of you, sis. So that's kind of like, that's not coupley language, but maybe they're trying to distance the speculation, you know, to call her sis. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've called you sis before.
Yeah. And grandma and
Yeah, grandpa, everything.
So that was number one. Also, I had made the point that we didn't know if Niamh Charles had known Ellie and DVD before she went to their wedding. And also I saw that she had just followed them like the week of the wedding, so it didn't seem like she knew them. However, someone brought up a good point that Ellie Carpenter is now on Chelsea with Niamh. So getting to know your teammates, and obviously I don't know if it had been announced that she was officially joined Chelsea at that point, but Niamh getting to know her new teammate, if they didn't know each other, that's a good part of it too, you know?
Yeah.
But someone put up a good comment about Niamh and Kat could be friends. I actually really like this comment.
Won her very first Euros, had the guts to step up for a penalty and smashed it in. We saw a lot of them get emotional, like Leah, Toonie, Beth, Lucy, and conveniently have a partner to offer a shoulder to cry into and to hug it out. But maybe for folks who are single, don't they get to cry into someone's shoulder too? That's true. Good point. Also, I would rather wear a free jersey than buy one. They're expensive. It makes sense Kat supports Niamh because of family FC history. Also, I'd rather take a friend if I could than go to a 3-day wedding by myself. Also a good point.
Yeah, so those are some really good points. A point about Niamh, first of all, smashing that PK when so many people had missed them, and the keeper saving them. For Niamh to go up there and smash it like that, a confident PK these days is becoming rarer and rarer in soccer, it seems like. But she smashed it, and you know, if they're just best friends, this person makes a good point, saying you always want a friend, you want someone to kind of cuddle to, you know, after the game when it's emotional. So maybe if they're not officially together, or maybe so that was good points. I personally still think they're together, but that person made some really good points. But going on from Niamh and Kat, there was another. They spotted someone there to support Grace Clinton. And this, we're not going to spend too much time on this, but Arsenal's own Kyra Cooney-Cross was an Australian was spotted in the crowd with Grace Clinton's family, and someone kind of got a picture. It's just her there, and it's kind of even fuzzy, but she was there. It makes sense that she's there. 7 of her Arsenal teammates are there. Want to go support them. But the rumor has been for about over a year, that her and Grace Clinton are together. They didn't really post anything, so we're not going to spend too long on it. But if they are together, she was there supporting her.
Love to see friends supporting friends.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think they're together. It looks like they are.
Wishful thinking.
You know why I think they're together? Because they have matching buns. They have the...
What? Oh my gosh. Matching buns.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Grace used to put her hair in a pony, but now she has this very sleek... I mean, she has the best bun in the business. Not one hair out of place. And then Kyra kind of has the same low bun. They have matching buns.
Bun soulmates, you could say.
But the rumor's been for about a year. I think they're together. They've posted pictures, not together on the same holiday, but they're on the same holiday. They follow each other's families on Instagram. And when I heard about this rumor, I was kind of in shock. I go, wow, I had not anticipated this. Apparently,
these two cutie patooties?
Yeah. No. I know. Apparently, they know each other through Carli Grant. Carli Grant and Kyra are best friends. I believe still best friends. And Kyra would go to Spurs games. And that was kind of a big controversy, too, because Kyra was wearing like Spurs gear. When you're an Arsenal player, that's a big rivalry. But she would go watch the games. But apparently they got to know each other. And then she would go for Charlie and for Grace. So it was great to see her there. And I liked what someone said. Someone says they're not secret, they're just private. So, but Grace Clinton, that bun she has, every single time I see her bun, her hair, it's like looks perfect. It looks like the bun I would want to do if my hair cooperated.
You're obsessed. I love it.
She's cute as a button, so.
Like I said, cutie patooties.
Yeah, they really are. So I'm excited for her. I'm glad Kyra got to go there. And support, if not her girlfriend, her best friend again. So did everyone see that? Speaking of the Euro champs, the Lionesses, I just saw this rumor on Instagram, and this is very interesting. It says Boston Legacy and NWSL expansion side are eyeing Beth Mead to be their headline signing for their debut season. Would you want to see Beth Mead in the NWSL? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And people did. That would be so freaking wild. I can't actually imagine this coming true. Because, wouldn't Viv have to come with? I know.
Let's sign them both. That would be iconic. Please let it be a thing. That would be so cool. / is this April Fool's? No. Is it April?
I should know this. I'm not exactly sure when her Arsenal contract expires because we've talked about this a few times. It might be this summer. It might be during the winter break. Either which way, would she go to A, the NWSL, B, United States? And everyone in the comment section is saying, no, don't go. No way. I don't see her leaving the UK, and I don't even see her leaving Arsenal. But I also see right here that Viv is at City, but I see someone says right here, Manchester City should go after her. See how they handle both of them playing up front. Dream Team. Someone says, no way, she wouldn't leave Viv, her dad, her brother, and dog behind. I can't see it, but I could be wrong and very shocked if it happens. I could see a move away from Arsenal, though. But there has been some movement over at Arsenal. Obviously, Chloe Kelly signed permanently with Arsenal. A few other moves have happened.
It seems to be that head coach Renee Slegers prefers Chloe Kelly in the wide positions, and with new signing Olivia Smith coming in, Mead's minutes could be limited.
Yeah, so Chloe Kelly now is full-time. Now Olivia Smith being signed to Arsenal. Does this diminish Beth Mead's role if she does decide to stay on longer? A lot of people, a few people did say they could see her leaving Arsenal, but not leaving the UK. Because you kind of think, what if she were to leave? What are the pros and cons to leaving? A pro would be if she goes to a new exciting team in the United States, it's kind of exciting. They might offer her a lot of money. You know, they want a marquee signing. They're like, we have Euro champion Beth Mead. Everyone knows Beth Mead in the soccer world. They could offer her a lot of money. Another pro would be, hey, if she wants a lot of playing time, I don't know, you know, I would assume she would, that, hey, you can have a starting role, a big impact on the team. They could even build a team around you. So that's exciting, you know, going to like a big city.
Yeah.
Another pro might be that she's exposed to a new fan base, because obviously everyone knows Beth Mead, but I'm sure there's a lot of NWSL fans who don't know her, who don't follow anything over in Europe or the Euros or anything. So that could be really exciting. Another pro is if she really likes baseball, she could go to baseball games. Is that weird?
She could do the Boston Marathon.
Okay, I'm saying it kind of funny because I actually think there's possibly more cons than pros. Obviously, con, you'd have to leave your Viv, your dad, your brother, maybe your dog, depending on the laws about bringing dogs over. You'd have to leave the UK. Is the NWSL playing style the type that would fit Beth Mead? I actually don't know. Comment down below if you think that playing style would complement Beth Mead. I don't know if that is it. Also, coming to the United States during a very volatile time is very concerning when you don't have to. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe don't do that.
That's one thing I always say. I saw someone in the comments saying, as a woman, why would you want to come to the States? But also, I was thinking about it. If she had any reservations about that, you know, she could ask Jen Beattie, Jess Carter, you know, English players that are playing here now who are possibly having a good time. You get what I'm saying? So not just to put a blanket on statement on don't come to America, but talk to your friends who are are you having a good time? Do you recommend it? Jen Beattie seems to enjoy it. Jess Carter saying she feels like at home at Gotham. So it could be isolatedly saying not necessarily the macro of geopolitics, but she could have a good time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
And also Boston is a market where that's a restaurant, Boston Market. Boston is a market where you can jump on a plane and do a direct flight to London, I believe. It's not the biggest plane ride. It's a pretty easy plane ride between USA and Europe. So that's also a pro if she did want to come over to the States. That would be like a perfect place. Oh, okay. I see her here. Beth Mead isn't leaving Arsenal. She still has 1 year left on her contract. Arsenal will not sell her. Okay, so whether this is true or not, if she still has 1 year left. But interesting. Would you want to see her? NWSL fans, would you want to see her? It seems like most WSL fans would not want to see her leave the WSL. But it could be exciting. And I feel like Beth is all about the excitement. But Beth has so many friends in the UK that she can still get a big payday too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta cash out.
Yeah, exactly. The last story we're going to talk about is kind of just briefly, because the big Lioness win was major. And one big story that came out of that was that Lucy Bronze had been playing with a fractured tibia. And, you know, a lot of people rightfully so, hero, how tough can one person be? Did everything she could for the team.
Put her body on the line, literally.
Yeah. But now some people are questioning. They're like, as amazing as that was that safe? You know, I've seen a couple of people on TikTok or online saying, as great as that was, as heroic as that was it safe? And should she have played? Because I've seen articles online talking about it.
Lucy Bronze playing on with a fractured tibia. The pain, the preparation, the risk.
Yeah, here's an article from The Athletic. It kind of talks about she might have been going through. And it kind of talked in this article about what exactly was the injury, because we actually don't know. We just know fractured tibia. From this article, that can mean a lot of things. It can mean hairline fracture. It can mean something more major. It can mean a lot of things since we don't know the medical records or whatever. But a lot of people are saying, even if it was a small fracture, is it worth the risk of ending someone's career? Because if you already have a sensitive body part, to put it on the line like that could be career ending. And some people are saying, was it worth the risk? I even see this comment here.
And someone says, if that is true, then surely the medical team need to be sacked for allowing her to play with that injury.
So people are saying,
they let Lucy Bronze play on a fractured tibia and Lauren James play through every injury under the sun. Someone please investigate the Lioness's staff, bro. These cannot be competent medical professionals.
Yeah, if you see the kind of pain that was on Lucy Bronze's face and what we know she will play through, it's not a matter of can she do it. She will do it if she's walking, but should she be allowed to walk? Or should she be allowed to play? I saw this also online, that if you remember, after Viv got COVID, she got COVID, she was recuperating, and, they said she was fit to play. She ended up playing that 120-minute match, I believe, against France, the Netherlands. They ended up losing, and if you remember this tweet,
no matter how much the player wants it or how important the player is to your team, surely it's not healthy to keep someone on for 90 minutes after having just recovered from COVID, let alone 120. Health should always come first.
Yes, and if you remember that tweet, she did not tweet it, but she liked it, and that was Beth Mead, a fellow Lioness. She liked that tweet because she said, surely it's not healthy to have someone play after having COVID. Now, some people are saying the same exact thing about Lucy. As much as she wants it, as much as she can play because she's Lucy Bronze, should the medical staff allow her to? And I think it's a good question, whether or not you want to play, whether or not you could think she can even help your team. I don't know. I think a lot of people are saying, is that risk worth it? And they're kind of, I don't want to say questioning the professionals, but why take the risk if you have a fractured tibia? And I don't know. I keep seeing that discourse saying, I don't know if the risks outweigh the reward. Now, Lucy Bronze would say, yeah, it would. But also, Chelsea fans are saying, I saw a comment on Twitter, like Chelsea fans are like, I don't have the tweet in front of me, but it said something like, oh my God, like, what are we supposed to do with this information? Like, does this endanger Chelsea's season? Because did it get worse? Because as a Chelsea fan, I'm sure you want your players on the national teams like England to do well. A lot of Chelsea fans are English. But what about playing for Chelsea? You know what I mean? You want your Chelsea team to do well. So it's such a weird, or is it more important to play well for your club team, for your national team? I don't know. I don't know. And do you trust more the national team doctors or the club team doctors?
This is a bad example, but you wouldn't let a doctor do surgery half asleep, would you?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I saw that discourse online. People were like, they shouldn't have let her play. And because at the end of the day, it is up to the manager. Lucy just can't say, I'm playing, I'm going on. You know what I mean? And it's hard because someone might be like, well, the fracture was hairline. It's not going to get worse. She's not endangering anything. But one thing I think I read in the article, if you have a body part that is already injured, it puts strain on every other body part. So even if it's not
very true, because you're making up for that.
Yeah, even if the tibia doesn't have direct, it's not like a knee or something, it doesn't have direct result in the actual motion of the leg, I forget the way they quoted it, you're still putting so much more pressure on other parts of your body. So is it worth it? I thought it was an interesting discussion because based on that tweet that Beth Mead liked, is it keeping the player's safety in mind is the most important? Because I'm sure Viv went and played that game. She says, I'm fine. I just had COVID. I had a cough. I'm fine. You know what I mean? And someone could say, well, COVID isn't as bad as having a fractured tibia. You know what I mean? Like, some people could make that argument, but I don't know. Are there any Chelsea fans out there who is kind of, I don't want to say worried about the season? Now they have Ellie Carpenter. They'll be okay. But I don't know. But I did see a lot of comments like this. I'll have Sarah read.
People saying Lucy Bronze is selfish for playing with a fractured tibia need to check themselves. There's no way she would have been allowed to play unless all the medical staff and coaches thought it was safe and the best option for the team. If anyone, she was selfless. She was selfless putting her body on the line like that. And anyway, she put in one hell of a shift and proved everyone wrong. Stop being negative because we're European champions. In all caps.
Yeah, and is everyone in good faith to say, oh, she shouldn't have played because they're salty that they ended up winning and like wanted to make something a negative? But I think that person says the medical professionals wouldn't have allowed her to play. But it goes back to the point Beth Mead said. Should Beth Mead, or the comment she liked, should Viv had played that game coming back from the COVID, should she have ever been allowed to play? Viv play that game. You get what I'm saying? The comparison, I think, is a good comparison. However, people might not say recovering from COVID and a fracture is the same type of injury, but it's the same idea. But also, Lucy Bronze didn't play the full 120 minutes in the game. She did get hurt with a knee injury. So you might say, well, she got hurt with the knee injury because of the pressure. I don't know. I'm just kind of being devil's advocate here. But she didn't play the whole 120 like Viv did. So that is a difference. Viv was allowed to play because they said you'll be okay. If you feel okay, we're letting you play. So I think there is kind of a discussion. But the only thing you can't discredit is how tough and brave and heroic Lucy was for doing that. Even if you did say it was selfish, to do something like that as being selfish, that's still heroic.
Lucy Tough Bronze, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that her middle name?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she was giving it for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
They knew.
Oh.
They knew.
Oh, yeah. What does everyone think? Questions, comments down below. We covered a lot of different things. Euros month is over. It's come to a close. This might be our last Euro focused video. So sad. Oh, the one thing I wanted to say about Beth Mead too, I forgot to mention this. Arsenal just won Champions League. There's nothing more major than winning Champions League other than like the league title. She won Champions League. Hey, go on, try to do something new. You get what I'm saying? So I was thinking that too as a pro. Yeah. Questions, comments down below.
And next video will be a full musical episode.
Oh dear. This isn't Grey's Anatomy.
So if you got this far in the video, let us know what songs we should sing.
Yeah, definitely. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.